uninhibited, we are less likely to use the logical parts of our brain when confronted with images of attractive people. You know, like the Diamond Company, De Beers. She's attractive, so I bought a ring from that place because of the lady that I saw. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Once I go to the EDU part of the show, maybe we can find out why or how does this, does it? Because I believe that sex does sell the most in marketing, products in particular, because it's something to look at. It's inviting. As a people of the norm, whatever that means, because norm can be all types of meanings to all types of different people. Most people are, really struggling with the relationship thing and sex in general because of the images that are put before us. It kind of tells us, well, this how your sex life should be if you buy this product. You may agree or disagree, but that's what that says to me. Like, just because she was a pretty lady with this ring on and this company had their name in glittering lights, I'm just supposed to get this ring. What about the quality of the ring? Is it diamonds? How much is it worth? Are we considering that, or we're just plain saying, okay, why don't we just all do the sex thing and sell stuff? I mean, that would kind of be awkward in business, wouldn't it? Like, yeah. So, questions. What do you think of using sex in marketing? Do you think it's a good strategy, bad strategy? Is it needed? What are the ads and commercials using sex you find the most outrageous or most effective? This is my opinion, me personally. The one that I found the most outrageous and most effective is the tampon commercials. And it's kind of like the norm now. Everybody sees it. It was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. But like, that's a private time for a woman at that time. I don't think that should be sold that way. And you have to look at the other side. Some of us don't look at things in a way that's respectable. Other people look at it like, and then having conversations that are disrespectful and are demeaning to women. It's outrageous to me because we don't talk about dudes, genitals and things like that, and what the issues are there happening inside of them that's coming out, and they don't display what's inside their underwear, things like that. I think it's a double standard, but it's most effective. It sells a lot because women are looking for that. And in this day and age, everything is quick. You got to get to something quick, get to the point. What can it do for me? And that's pretty much what it is. So, what do you think? I'll get to my points, my boss points in a minute. But I'm going to go from Does Sex Sell in the Psychology Today at www.psychologytoday.com. Okay. Don't see them yet. It's okay, but we only 20 minutes in. Like 30 minutes, You can always play it back, if you miss it. Here we go. Adrian Fernham, PhD. A Sideways View. Does sex sell? Does sexing up advertisements or placing advertisements in sex programs work? Does sex sell? 10 years ago, Calvin Klein Jeans launched a rather controversial and highly sexual advertising campaign which doubled their revenue. So is it a good idea to use sex or violence to improve sales? Does it only work for men? or on some products rather than others? And how do you measure the effect, memory for the ad, the brand, or whether they actually buy the product? Different countries have different rules about advertising on television, billboards, and magazines. Some are seemingly lax and not very concerned with nudity or rather unsubtle hints about intercourse. The whole issue of sex and violence on television and its potential effect on young people easily spills over from programs to advertising, which is very true. There are various ways in which one can sex up a product. Obviously, one can use sexy ads. They may use highly attractive, scantily clad actors or subtle innuendo, or not too subtle culturally understood images. Most of us remember speeding steam trains rushing into tunnels, the girl biting the chocolate flake ad, and the music of Jatame, etc. I guess that's what it says. I guess that's what it says. Another way to embed the advertisement in a sexy program. There are many post 9 o'clock watershed programs that deal with all aspects of sex, but not always sexually. Sexily. I didn't know it was such a word. One research question: do you get more bang for your buck if you put a sexy ad in a sexy program or an unsexy program? There is now an experimental literature on this topic, starting with the important work of Brad Bushman, Psychological Science, Volume 16, and including some of my modest contributions, Applied Cognitive Psychology, Volume 27. Oh, we getting educated up in here, so you already know what that means. The idea of commercial advertising is pretty simple. People see, listen to, or read an advertisement. They recall the brand, its strapline, and the product. They later recognize the products in shops or the web or elsewhere and buy it. They trust products more that have been advertised. Good ads lead to great sales. But how to get the ad noticed and remembered in the first place? Psychologists have known for half a century that memory for anything is dependent on how deeply it is processed. People have to notice the ad, pay attention to it, understand the central message of it, and integrate it into their personal knowledge bank and system. The more advertisement catches your attention and interest, the more you are likely to devote energy and capacity to processing it, and the stronger the memory trace will be. Processing goes through various stages. Notice the ad. Pay attention to the pictures, the words, and the benefits. Understand and comprehend that message, and then integrate it into your knowledge bank, commercial schema, etc. So ad agencies use drama, humor, sex, and violence to make the ads more attention-grabbing, interesting, and memorable. They try to elicit emotions and mood states that enhance memory, although recall may depend on that mood state being experienced again when the shopper is buying. People seem to like humor, some like sex, fewer like violence, but the job is to selling products. Once the ad is made, the question is where and when to show it. Various factors affect this decision, including cost and for television viewing figures. Assume you have a choice. You are marketing a food product, and you have made an outrageous near to the line sexy ad. Do you slot it in a food program ad break, of which there are many, or in a car program or a gardening program? Assume the same cost, the same viewers, the same readership. In other words, should you maximize program advertisement congruency or incongruency? Brad Bushman's studies looked at whether putting an advertisement in a violent or sexual program improves or impairs memory for it. 3 groups watched either a violent, sexually explicit, or neutral TV program that contained 9 standard advertisements. Afterwards, they were asked to recall the brands and identify them from pictures of similar brands on supermarket shelves. The next day, they were each phoned again, asked to recall the brands. The study showed that those watching the neutral program remembered most. Irrespective of their sex or age, or how much they liked the program, the sex and violent program seemed to impair memory for the advertised products. A British study and one run in France came to much the same conclusion. It may be that people attend more closely to and get more involved in sex violent programs, so they inevitably have less attentive capacity for other stimuli like the ads. Also, it is believed that sex and aggression in the films stimulate sexual and aggressive thoughts, which further limit interest in and attention paid to the ads. But sexing up an ad and putting it in a non-sexy program might just work. You can get a strong von Restorff effect of the ad, quote, standing out like a sore thumb, end quote, but paradoxically, that effect is consistently reduced every time the ad is shown. So here, the paradox. The more you see a sexy ad, the less the effect. So the moral lobby of parents, priests, and pundits might stem the flow of sex and violence on the television, but the advertising lobby, which effectively subsidizes and therefore pays for the program, certainly will if these results are to be believed. Finding the sexy program, for one's ad seems a waste of time, and so is repeating a new ad and very ad. So could one conclude that sex doesn't sell? So that's basically like I said before I read it to you guys, because I read it prior to doing, getting on live tonight. I'm sorry, buddy, you can't get on for some reason. I'll try to send it to you again, because I really want to hear your input on this. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm just getting over a little sinus cold, y'all, so y'all have to excuse me. I'm getting dinner down and stuff like that. I had a Popeye tonight. That was pretty good. I wanted more. I might get another one, because those are pretty good. And then, my throat's been bothering me, so talking a little too much, straining my voice or whatever. But it was crazy because it didn't feel strained, it didn't feel sore or nothing. I just couldn't talk for like a couple days, and that was just kind of irritating. It's kind of like when you have allergies or sinus, it kind of drains in your throat, and it kind of clogs up your vocal cords, and so you're stretching and stretching, trying to talk over it, but it's really a cold, and you just have to get over it. So, got to take this little silly medicine. Been kind of, glad I do this at night, because during the day I was pretty swamped, and then I'm tired as well, and I just don't like taking medicine because it makes you feel drowsy and stuff, and I gotta be alert, I gotta do stuff, I gotta read, I gotta be able to focus and pay attention, but that's a whole nother show. So I'm still waiting on you, Allie. I know you coming, I know you trying to get on the air here. I actually sent it to the Facebook as well. So if you follow me on Bossly Ladyn, which is BOSSLYLADYEN. So send me a friend request if you're not familiar with that. Excuse me, because that's where I base all my shows out of. So I'm going to go to this next one. Huffington Post. And read this article because this tripped me out. Okay, what? That was not the one.